Happy Christmas Eve to everybody. It is an awesome day, a day to relax. I know everybody getting a little moment to relax today. So that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, I'm just here this morning. Again, my we're just gonna say Wisdom Wednesday. Got a little poetry here for you this morning. Just a different coaching style that I use for myself at times. I like to write my emotions and feelings in poems sometimes. So I just randomly do it. I journal a lot, and sometimes my journaling turns into a little poetic, just a little bit, just a little bit. So, before I get started, for those that don't know me, as you pass this space, I first want to say, be blessed on purpose. But I am Tawanda. I'm Coach Tawanda. I'm a called and certified personal development and goals coach, best-selling author, and I'm a podcast host of Talks with Tawanda. And I'm just here to just spread a little love. Good morning, Miss Daisy. Good morning. So we just got a couple of poems here. I'm just gonna jump right into it and just go ahead and just share a little bit with you. And I ain't got my little snapping, so I'm gonna clap when I'm ready to clap, y'all. Just come on in, come on in, come on in. The life I imagined. I'm not just grieving people. I'm grieving versions of myself that I never got to live. The woman I thought I'd be by now, the life I planned, the love I expected, the timeline I believed in. I grieve the conversations that never happened, the milestones that came and went without me standing where I thought I'd be. No one tells you how much it hurts to release dreams that felt promised, dreams you prayed for, dreams you prepared for, dreams you shaped your decisions around, only to realize life had other lessons waiting. There's a quiet pain in accepting that effort doesn't always equal outcome, that doing your best doesn't always protect you from disappointment. And sometimes the grief is loud. The grief isn't loud, it's subtle. It shows up when someone else living what you once imagined for yourself. It shows up in silence after you say, I'm happy for them and mean it, but it still aches. Grief doesn't mean you fail. It means you hope deeply. It means your heart was brave enough to believe in more, to reach forward, to dream with intentions, and the capacity still matters. Because people who grieve like this are people who can love again, who can dream again, and rebuild with wisdom instead of illusion. You're not behind, sweet baby. You're not punished. You're not forgotten. You're being redirected into a life that fits who you are now, not who you were when you made the plans. I want you to know that you can mourn the pain and still trust the process. Both can live in the same heart. Hey, come on. Come on, trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process. I do apologize if I miss saying good morning to whomever passed through, but just thank you for sitting in this morning. One thing I've done in just life in general, I've had the ability to to understand. It wasn't necessarily the ability. I just had to say yes to the calling and understand that the pain that I once dealt with and I lived through was going to be turned into purpose. It was purpose behind it. And I like speaking to myself in poetry. I've written some things over time and it has helped me through some things. It starts with just journaling. And I really, when I'm allowing myself to really intentionally journal my feelings, like it just gets a little cute. I sit back and I'm like, girl, look at you talking to you. Thank you, Miss Daisy. Strengthen your struggle. You've been told to be strong, to carry the weight silently, to swallow pain, to never bend, to never let anyone see you crack. But strength isn't only muscle, strength is resilience. Strength is rising after being knocked down. Strength is admitting when the load is too heavy and still choosing to stand. You can cry, you can stumble, and you can admit you're tired. Because true strength is measured not by silence, but by courage. The courage to confront fear, to face pain, to honor the heart while moving forward. Being a man doesn't mean sacrificing your soul for toughness. Being a man means showing up for yourself, holding integrity, and leading with honesty, even when it hurts. Every scar, every tear, every battle you face is building a man who is strong, yes, but also human. You are not weak for feeling. Your power lies in rising away, in standing tall while being real, and honoring yourself even when the world expects you to hide. I wrote that for my brother, so I decided to share it here. So I have two brothers actually. I lied. I lied. Two brothers I talk to more often. I love all three of them, but I have two brothers. One of my three brothers. I'm sorry, I keep saying two, but three brothers. One of my brothers actually do poetry or whatever. But I have my oldest brother, and we talk very often. And I'm his source of motivation. So I'll send him something positive in the morning. Not every single morning, but very, very often, so he can know that I'm constantly reaching out. Because sometimes what I realized being a sister is my brothers, they hurt too. Their husbands, their fathers, their cousins, their brothers, and so they hold it all weight, a lot of weight too. So I often, anytime you hear anything that I write or recite and it's pertaining to men, at first I wrote it having the heart and mind of my brother, because I know as a woman, just looking at them and looking at their struggles, sometimes I do understand that they need a little encouragement too, to continue to stand in the space in which they are needing to stand in as providers, as males, as fathers, as husbands, and things of that nature. So I always, being that I have the heart that I have for my brothers, and I see them knowing that they're men and knowing what they go through, how they're trying to be this stand-up guy. Not saying they're perfect. We're not gonna call them perfect, but however, we are gonna call them men that's had to live a certain lifestyle and they hurt too, but have been told that hurting or showing emotions means you weak, and that's not true. So I like to just allow myself to be able to speak to my brothers. That's it. That's all. I love you, Dale and Deshaun and Clarence. But yeah, I love my brothers. They fine, self. No, no, no. We ain't insisting. We in Alabama, but they fine. They fine. They parents did a thing with them. Bless the Lord. But come on through. What I don't say out loud. I seen Miss B here. Miss Brand, I think I seen you picking that. Brenda tell you. Brandy tell you. Bless it. Bless it. Thank y'all for look at them hearts up there. Bless it, Lord. Come through, come through, come through, come through. What I didn't say out loud. There were things I've survived that I never mentioned. Not because they didn't matter, but because I learned early that silence felt safer than explanation. Moments that changed me but didn't leave visible scars. The kind of pain people dismiss because they can't see it on your body. I learned how to smile through it, how to say I'm fine when my chest was heavy with unsaid truth, how I showed up polished while quietly carrying pieces of myself I didn't know how to share. Shame whispered, if they only knew, they'd leave. So don't edit your story. You shrink your honesty, your presence, the version of yourself that feels almost acceptable, hoping it will be enough to keep people close. But shame survives silence. It grows in the dark, feeding on the securities and self blame. Healing begins with compassion. Had to learn that one. Not the kind that is offered to everyone else, but the kind you've been withholding from yourself. Compassion says, you did what you could with what you had. You are surviving, not failing. You don't need to punish yourself forever for moments that shaped you. Your past doesn't make you unlovable. Your truth does not make you too much. And your healing does not require permission from people who never carried your pain. Some truths don't need to be shouted, they just need to be held with kindness instead of shame. Gonna go ahead and clap on it. We're just gonna clap on it. I want you to remember that your truth deserves gentleness, not judgment. And so do you. That's one, baby. That's a hard one, but it's so doable. And that's a reminder, even to myself, that I have to remind myself every day, like, just be gentle with yourself. Yeah, just be a little nice to yourself. Not a little nice, but sometimes you just start just a little nice. Just be a little nice to yourself today. Baby, sometimes the world judges us enough. There's no need for us to continue to sit and judge ourselves based off something that we did with what we had. That's it, y'all. That's it. That's all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Y'all give me a second. Good morning. Okay. Good morning. Just need to share my own life just a little bit. Where we at? Number 4. What did we do already? Let's see. The life I imagined. Then we did strengthen your struggle. That was for men, right? That was the one for men. Marshmallow. Good morning. Good morning. What I didn't say out loud. And so we are on 4. Let's do vision poem. We'll do vision poem. Let me this one here is for anyone struggling to see the bigger picture, feeling stuck or unsure of what's next. It's for the dreamer who are tired of small steps and wanted to be reminded of why they started. If y'all know me, Coach Tawanda, I love me a good vision board. I love me a good moment to sit down with my vision to even put that board together. But that ain't why we're here. But I do feel vision is very important. And sometimes we have those moments where we can vision stuff, but life itself puts us in a position to make us a little afraid and we don't move forward and things of that nature. So I want you to do yourself a favor today, and I want you to see beyond today. Because your vision is not what your eyes can't touch today. Can touch today. It is the quiet whisper of possibilities and the soul that refuses to ignore it. Even when life tries to drown it in the noise and doubt. Even when the road twists and disappears into the fog. Even when everyone around you is rushing past, your vision is the compass. It's the compass that points you towards your next step, your next breakthrough, your next version of yourself. Dreams without action remain whispers in the dark. Visions without courage stays invisible. But when clarity meets bravery, when faith steps in where fear lingers, and your life begins to bend towards the destiny that was quietly waiting for you. Remember, vision is patience. It does not demand perfection. It does not measure your peace, your pace, or what naysayers say. It only asks that you keep moving, even if the steps are small, even if your heart trembles, even if the world cannot see what you see. Hold your vision close, even when today feels small or unordinary. What you see tomorrow is bigger than any setback, louder than any doubt, and worth every step you take. That was it on that one. We was on vision, seeing beyond today. Running on empty. Now, I don't know. This one might be some for somebody in here other than myself, baby. Because I've had those moments and it can sneak up on you. It can happen. You know, when it happened, you could be one day's feeling like you got all the energy going forward, and then all of a sudden it feels like you're running on empty. Everything has been swooped up and pulled away from under you, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Running on empty. I'm not ungrateful. I'm exhausted. And those two truths can exist in the same breath. I can appreciate my life and still feel worn thin by it. I can love what I've built and still be tired of holding it together. There's a difference between being lazy and being depleted. Lazy avoids effort. Depletion has given everything it has and then some. Depletion comes from always being needed, from carrying responsibility without relief, from solving problems no one else see you solving, from being strong so long you forget to rest. You forget what rest feels like. Some of you aren't unmotivated. You're overwhelmed. You're not disconnected. You're overstimulated. You're not lacking discipline. You're running on fumes. Sometimes the bravest thing is admitting you need to stop pushing and start replenishing. To pause without guilt, to rest without explanation, to choose stillness in a world that rewards constant motion. You don't need to earn rest by breaking it first. You don't need permission to slow down. Your worth is not measured by how much you can endure. Your value is not tied to your productivity. You are allowed to be human before you are useful. If you don't know nothing else, I want you to leave with this. Rest is recovery, not failure. And you deserve to recover. Can we say recover this morning? This morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I don't know if it's true, y'all. I see 58 right here on my temperature. I'm hoping we're gonna have a good, nice day today. I think we is. I think we is. I think we is. I just happen to notice that because sometimes I be looking at it and I just be wanting to know what it feels like outside. Now, this another one. I don't know. This could just have been for me, but I'm gonna see, you know what I'm saying? If you feel it, just tap the screen for me, show a little love, but outgrowing us. Boy, do this one hit. I didn't change to hurt you. I changed to live. I didn't wake up one day and decide to become distant. I woke up one day and realized I couldn't keep abandoning myself to stay familiar to everyone else. Growth. Growth can feel like betrayal to people who knew the old you, the version that was quieter, easier, and more accommodating. They remember who you were when you said yes too quickly, when you explained yourself too much, and when you made room for everyone else but yourself. It costs your peace. It costs your voice. It costs the part of you that are finally learning how to breathe. Outgrowing someone doesn't mean you don't love them. It means love alone isn't enough to sustain misalignment, and that hurts. Because loyalty pulls you one way while self respect pulls you another. Some relationships don't end with anger, they end with grief, with silence, with the quiet understanding that you are no longer meant to walk in the same pace. You can honor what was without sacrificing who you're becoming. You can hold gratitude without staying stuck. Sometimes, sometimes distance isn't rejection, it's preservation. Preservation. Growth sometimes means distance. And choosing yourself is not the same as abandoning others. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, if you don't know me, I'm going to go ahead and let you know who I am. I am Coach Tawanda. I'm a personal development and goals coach. This is just one of my things, and that I do is, I write. I've been writing since I was younger, just in general. I've have poems, and my first book actually was poems that I've written, some years ago that helped me through some things. And so I like taking those moments and just putting my feelings and my thoughts in a little spoken word, and just, I feel like if they help me and if they make sense to me, maybe they'll make sense to somebody else. So I just share them into the space. So I hope you enjoyed. If there's anything that touches your heart, go ahead and touch the screen. Just let me know. I just want to know that is working for you. But other than that, also, as I've mentioned, I am a personal development and goals coach. So I want to take a moment to stop here just for a moment. We have a few more pieces that I will recite here this morning. Well, I rather say speak on that I speak on this morning. But I wanted to take a moment to invite you on January the 5th, on Zoom for a vision and goals workshop. If you do not have your goals and your vision ready for the new year, go ahead and join me and let's do it together. Let's motivate the space. Let's be encouraged. Let's vision our journey, put some goals to it and all the good things. But I guarantee you will leave that space feeling and thinking a little bit differently than when you came. So let's go ahead and keep on going now. Who am I now? Who am I now? I didn't recognize myself, and that scared me. I looked at old pictures, old messages, old dreams, and I wondered where that version of me went. The one who laughed easier, trusted quicker, believed harder. There are days I missed who I used to be, even though I know she didn't have the tools I have now. But maybe this isn't lost. Maybe this is shedding. Maybe this is confusion. Maybe the confusion isn't failure, it's transition. The space between who you were and who you are becoming. Some versions of you were only meant to survive. They learn how to endure, how to adapt, and how to make it through without falling apart completely. But survival is not the same as alignment. And staying who you were just because it's familiar can keep you from who you're meant to be. Growth will disorientate you. Healing with dismantle the old identity that you once held. And self discovery often begins with knowing who you are anymore, with not knowing who you are anymore. That doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're brave enough to let go of the identity that no longer fits your spirit. You are not empty. You are in the middle of becoming, and becoming always feel unfamiliar before it feels like home. You are not lost. You are evolving. And elevation is uncomfortable before it becomes empowering. Stay on the course now. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Y'all know I kind of stumbled a little bit. Blessed, blended and blessed. Good morning. Blessed, blessed. I love the word blessed, but blessed. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know I be hating when I get to stumbling a little bit. Usually I reread it, but I ain't gonna do it this morning. I hope you got it though. I hope you got it. But I liked it that one though. Still waiting. Now, if you've been on any of my lives within the last, well, some weeks ago, each week brings a little bit something different, but it's between coaching and just motivation and things of that nature. But I'm on one of my lives a few weeks ago. I was, talking about that line, waiting in that line for your name to be called. And sometimes that line that you're waiting on for them blessings that we be praying for, it seems like it takes a long time, right? So some of us may be still waiting, and I think that's going to be a process in life. There's going to be always something that we need as we evolve in life. So therefore we're going to always have those moments where we may have to wait on a little something. Now sometimes when we have that waiting space, depending on what it is we're waiting for, we want that thing to come immediately. We want it to show up right now. We feel like right now we need that thing, right? So still waiting. Because I prayed, I believed, I waited, I followed the steps, I trusted the timing, I did the right things, and I still ended up here. Wondering why obedience didn't come with clarity. Silence answered back. Not rejection, not correction, just quiet. The kind of quiet that makes you question yourself. The kind that makes you wonder if you misunderstood the calling, the promise, or the voice you thought you heard. There's a loneliness in unanswered prayers, a grief in believing deeply and still feeling unseen. But silence didn't mean absence, and waiting doesn't mean abandonment. Sometimes growth happens without explanation. Sometimes trust is being built without confirmation. Sometimes faith is deepening in ways certainty could never. Faith changes when it's tested. It becomes quieter, more honest, less performance. It stopped needing guarantees and learned how to sit in uncertainties. You're not weak for questioning. You're not faithless for feeling it out or feeling tired. And you're not forgotten because answers haven't arrived yet. Some prayers are answered slowly, not because they're being ignored, but because they're being shaped into what comes next. Faith doesn't disappear, it transforms. And transforming often happens in the waiting. Come on, my wait gang. We here understanding that the season of waiting is not denial. It may seem like a delay, but it's discovery. It's becoming. It is going to be okay. Wait for it. Because I think the wait is going to turn out a little better than what, just think about a cake you like. Like I like me a piece of cake, baby. I like me a nice little piece of pound cake. I wish I had some over there. I would have had it with my coffee, right? But just think of that favorite thing that you like. You may not like cake because I got a daughter that don't like cake, right? So think about putting that thing, mixing it up and putting it in the oven, and where it should be cooking for an hour, you cook it for 30 minutes because you're rushing the process. Just think about taking that cake out. If you took that cake out halfway through, sometimes the waiting, now you start smelling that stuff and it be smelling so good, your belly just be sitting over there like, oh, you know what? That's the fat girl talking to me, honey. I was gonna explain the whole visual, right? But just imagine it. The waiting, you can see it, you can almost taste it, you can smell it, and it just seems like it's right there, and you kind of get tired of the waiting. But I want to just tell somebody that this is not the season for you to get tired of waiting. This is the season for you to wait with expectations. Yeah. Wait with believing that that in which you are waiting for is going to come out, and it's going to be in perfect time, and it's just going to be just right for you. I know it's hard sometimes waiting, especially when you're hungry. But it's okay. Go over there and get you just a little bit of snack or something, or drink you a little water so that you can allow yourself to wait, so that you don't get full trying to go get something else while you're waiting on this thing to arrive. Sometimes in the waiting, you get a little weary, you get a little hungry, start growling on the inside. But I want you to always remember the end goal. Do you want it too soon? If too soon is not going to be exactly what you want. So sometimes we're just going to wait on some things. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. This cough. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Look what I did. So as I continue on, I knew I shouldn't have did that, but I wanted me to. I wanted my cup of coffee a little full this morning. I just got to explain because this was nasty. All those coffee grains down there. And so instead of, usually when I want to, I'll just use two pods, two separate pods. And this morning I decided, oh, let me just use this pod again because, you know, I got maybe like eight more pods in there. I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna go to the store the next couple of days. Let me just reuse this one. And oh my goodness, I guess it must have made the hole bigger because at the bottom of this cup is just a whole bunch of coffee grains. And I just got a whiff of it this morning. Bless it. I'm okay though. I'm okay. I'm okay. I am okay. Afraid to begin again. This is a good one. I've hit my 40s. I ain't scared to say it. 44, baby, 45 next month. Can we say blessed Lord? Because there was many days where it could have all ended. So, I'm okay. I'm gonna count every day, every minute, every second, because I'm grateful for it. Because when you have those moments and you just look back on life and you see where you came from, you see, you get to look in the mirror and say, Lord, I'm so grateful that I don't look like what I've been through. Hey, let me tell you now. But anyway, there's going to be moments in life, and in this new season in life, I think it had to be 41 is when I decided that I was going to begin again. So 44 now. It's been great these last few years. Still those ups and downs, but when you get to see life different, you experience life different. And then, you just know, not just from the physical standpoint of just life, you know what I'm saying? You get to see it from a spiritual standpoint, like things awakening in areas that, you just didn't think was possible. So if you're afraid of beginning again, I just want you to know that it's not failure that I feared. It's disappointment. Failure feels like final. Disappointment is linear. It's the ache of hoping and having to sit with the outcome. Trying again means believing. And belief requires vulnerability. It asks you to open your heart and it asks you to open a heart that has already learned how to brace. Some of you aren't afraid to work hard. You're afraid to care again, to imagine again, to let yourself want something you can't control. So you protect yourself by staying neutral. You call it realism. You call it wisdom. But really is exhaustion, disguised as caution. Because disappointment taught you how deeply you can feel. And parts of you is tired of paying that emotional price. But staying close cost you more than risking again. It costs connections. It costs possibilities. It costs a version of you that still believes life can surprise you in a good ways too. You don't have to rush hope. You don't have to leap blindly. You can try again slowly. with boundaries, with discernment, with self trust. Hope doesn't mean ignoring what hurt you, it means trusting yourself enough to navigate whatever comes next. Hope is still worth the risk, not because it's guaranteed, but because you are stronger than you used to be. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you, my beautiful people. I got a couple standing here, and I hope y'all don't forget to share this thing. But I hope whatever is speaking that it pierce your heart some type of way. There's many of us in many moments in life that we learn to need less. I know. Yeah, I might be the only one, and I accept that YouTube and TikTok. I accept it. I accept it. But just in case I'm not the only one, I just want to go ahead and put it in the air. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I learned not to ask, not to need, not to expect, not because I didn't deserve more, but because more never came. I learned how to read the rooms early, how to sense modes, how to become low maintenance so I wouldn't have to be a burden. I learned that attention was inconsistent, that control had condition, comfort had conditions, and that silence often followed vulnerability. So I adapted. I became independent before I was ready, self-sufficient before I felt safe, strong before I was supported. No one called it neglect because there was food and shelter and good intentions. But what was missing was presence, was understanding, was being emotionally held without having to earn it. So I learned to soothe myself, to dismiss my own needs before anyone else could, to believe that wanting more made me ungrateful. Now I'm learning that needing is not weakness, that asking does not make me too much, that relying does not make me fragile, that vulnerability does not mean I'll be abandoned. I'm learning that my nervous system was shaped by absence and it deserves patience, not punishment. And that the child in me was never asked for too much, was asking for too much. They were asking for enough. You deserve tenderness too. And it's not too late to give it to yourself now. Sometimes we still waiting on those parents and those people that we trusted to be around to give us that thing that we can give ourselves now. So go ahead and hold and embrace yourself, sweet baby, and allow yourself to know that you was never asking for too much. You just needed enough. And in this moment of time, don't even allow yourself to sit back in those spaces, allowing yourself to replay the thoughts and the words over and over again. Understand that right now is a moment, is a season where you can choose to begin again. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I'm just saying. How much time we got on here? It's 7:39. I can do a couple of more if y'all want me to do a couple of more. Now, if y'all ready for this thing to be over, you can just say it. But if you want another one or two, just go ahead and say one or two in the chat, boy. Let me know you're here with me, and I'll go ahead and do another one just for the time this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yogi, good morning, good morning, good morning. When success feels empty, that's another one. This is for anyone who's achieved milestones and earned titles and checked all the boxes and still feel hollow inside. I remember that moment. Yeah, I got the degrees and and all the things and the certificates, and the titles, and thought walking all strong, but it was something on the inside that still felt a little empty. I remember those moments. What's this? I remember those moments, but we here now, still every day, waking up and being determined to make it a new day. I checked all the boxes. I climbed the ladders. I said the words, I wore the titles, but inside the echo of accomplishment sounds hollow. The applause doesn't reach my soul. The milestones feel like paperweights pressing down on my heart that still aches. I've learned success without meaning is like carrying gold through a desert, shining but without water to drink. Achievements are nothing if they don't feed the fire in you. You are allowed to want more than applause. You are allowed to crave meaning, not just milestones. You are allowed to align your life with the values, your passions, your soul is calling. So don't settle for hollow victories. Don't trade your heart for titles. Chase the lights. So don't settle for hollow victories. Don't trade your heart for titles. Chase what lights you up inside, what makes you wake up grateful, alive, and fully you. Build a life that feeds your soul, and everything else will follow. Purpose matter more than progress. Fulfillment comes when your soul is aligned with your life, not your resume. Okay. Okay, for those that's sitting over there feeling a little empty with success, bless it, Lord. Bless it. I can't speak this morning. Let me see. I got one more, and then I'm just gonna put this one out there, and that's all I got for today. This is the last one. That is all I got for today. Okay? Okay. The courage to stay soft in a hard world, baby. Let me tell you. This is for anyone that's been hurt by life but refuses to harden their hearts. This takes practice. This takes endurance. This takes some faith in sitting in God's space, because the world can put you in positions to make you want to harden your heart. But this is for us that chooses to still love, still have compassion, and still, provide kindness in a world that sometimes punish softness. Sometimes we're too soft, they say, all those things. The world tried to harden me. It tried to teach me to raise my walls, to bite before being bitten, and to armor my heart in steel. But it didn't win. I still chose compassion. I still chose kindness. I still see the good in people, even when it's buried under layers of pain. I still believe that love matters, even when love disappoints, even when it doesn't arrive the way I hoped. Staying soft isn't weakness, it's resilience. It's a rebellion against cruelty. It's courage wrapped in gentleness. And every time I choose softness, I teach the world a quiet, powerful lesson that tenderness is strength, empathy is power. The heart that gives are not broken, they are brave. Don't let the world steal your tenderness. Stay soft. Keep believing. Keep loving. Your softness is your superpower. It will never betray you. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. That is it. That is it. That is all. I done said all the ones I had for today. Now I don't know. At some point in time, as you pass and see this live, I just pray that wherever you meet the live on the tape, and that whatever is said in those moments pierce your heart so that your ears can hear. I pray that it allows you to see the beauty in yourself. I Pray that it allows you to keep moving when you want to stop. I pray that it allows you to see and hold on to faith when the world just seems to want to shake you a little bit. I just pray that whatever it is in this season, moving to the next, that you make sure that you aim to have an amazing life on purpose. Why? Because you deserve it. You deserve it. I was gonna, YouTube, thank you for your time this morning. I'm gonna let y'all go. TikTok, I'll play with you just a little bit more if y'all don't mind just sitting with me just a little bit. And if you're over here on TikTok, go ahead and make sure you hit that heart at the top of that screen. Now, don't forget to grab your heart me. YouTube, I love you. Make sure you have an amazing holiday on purpose. Happy, happy, happy. Is it Christmas Eve? Merry Christmas Eve? Happy Christmas Eve? I don't get all into that extra stuff, but it's one of the two. Just have an amazing day on purpose. Okay? Okay.